Good morning. Continuing in Romans 8, thinking about this golden chain, we're going to look at verse 29 again. For those whom he foreknew, remember that's the first of these 5 pieces. For those whom he foreknew, he also, secondly, predestined. Predestined. The moment you begin to talk about the doctrine of predestination, it feels sort of cold, antiseptic, stoic. The questions emerge, well, why does he predestine one versus another, and questions like that. I want to take a different angle with you about predestination for a moment. Just listen to Ephesians chapter 1, the end of verse 4 starts a new sentence and goes into verse 5. In love, he predestined us. God predestined us for adoption to himself as sons through Jesus Christ according to the purpose of his will. Paul points out in Ephesians that the ethical grounding, the heart of predestination is the love of God, that he would set his affections toward you. So one of the things that the doctrine of predestination is supposed to do, there's a couple of things. First, it's supposed to remind you that God has initiated with you and set his affections toward you. Now, when you believed, you didn't necessarily feel something or all of a sudden conclude, well, there it is, I am experiencing the actualization of the predestination of God. But the unseen hand of God moved in you. The unseen purpose of God manifested in your belief. And he is the one who is driving the ship. He's the one who's at the helm. Now, here's the beauty of it. He predestined you to what? The text says he predestined you to be conformed to the image of his Son. Your predestination is not merely to a kind of ticket to heaven, but rather to a characterological transformation, to be conformed to the image of Christ. And then the next phrase says, in order that he, talking about Jesus, might be the firstborn among many brothers. What does that mean? The firstborn there has to do not with some linear idea, but firstborn, going back even to the Old Testament, the rights of the firstborn, had to do with preeminence of place. And the idea is that Christ is this preeminent one, and he, in this sense, is a forebearer of sorts, a forebearer who goes before us. And we one day will experience and have something similar to him. This is what 1 Corinthians 15 is about, right? We will one day ultimately be conformed fully to his image because we'll have a resurrection body like he has. So in that way, we will be conformed, and Christ in that way is the one going before us, ultimately, in whose train we follow in that way. So, to summarize, he foreknew and he predestined us. But predestined us what? He predestined the whole passage of our life from giving spiritual rebirth to us to our ultimate glorification. Now that is what this text is actually going to get to. To be conformed to his image, to follow Jesus all the way to glorification. More about that to come, but may the Lord bless you and hopefully you have a wonderful day.